Hey everybody, I'm Jack. This is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Just a typical Tuesday here in South Alabama. Not too much special going on today, but I am eating fruit, so I guess that always makes it a special day. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that I'm gonna keep getting these little Atolfo mangoes all through the summer. Made that favorite dressing of mine last night with some mango red pepper, a little bit of smoked paprika, and some tahini. Good stuff. Anyhow, today I want to talk about the biggest mistakes I see on the raw food diet. I do videos every day, so if you haven't already done it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now and come back and watch some more of my videos. Then click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. This is pretty easy, really. I mean, pretty much everybody's diet. I love to just sit back kind of and observe sometime. And hey, who knows? Take me with a grain of salt, the old senile man sitting by himself in Alabama. And I kind of observe and I try to see, like, from when people talk about the problems they're having, I try to just fix it in my head. And most of the time I look at things and I'm like, yep, I can fix that real easy. It's pretty simple, but your mileage may vary. The biggest problem I see out there, one of the biggest problems, there's kind of really two or three, but I'm gonna kind of keep them equal. In other words, I'm gonna say, well, this is the most, this is the second, this is it. But one of the biggest one I see out there is fat. Fat. And this comes from people, let's just say this as delicately as possible. The fat issue, I see this coming from people that are always expressing to me or expressing to other people through a thread or whatever that they're trying to lose weight. You know, to some extent, I don't believe that, I'm not like full on with that saying, but yeah, the fat you eat is the fat you wear. I would go so far to say if you're still trying to lose some weight on this lifestyle, you might even want to go a little bit lower on that fat. But everybody, what is it with the nuts? I mean, do you not see the connection with all this fat, with the nuts, with the weight that you're holding on to, or the results you're not getting? It's the fat is not just about it's not just about weight. It's about the health in general. It's about people that their skin's not clearing up. Maybe they're not getting the smooth digestion like they thought they were going to get. And I always see so much fat in there, and I think people aren't even aware of how much fat creeps in. I see recipes and I cringe when I see a cup full of nuts, or when I see a half cup full of nuts, or even a quarter cup full of nuts mixed with avocado. And then you've got oil in there. Don't even get me started. I don't do oil. I don't get into the whole oil debate, but oil is pretty much 100% fat. So anyhow, I'm not trying to be extreme here or preach don't eat any fat. I'm not even preaching to you don't eat any nuts. But nuts are a trouble thing. It's a trouble food for most people. Even for me, there's certain nuts like pistachios. I can feel that pull. So you're trying to lose weight. You're new to this raw food lifestyle. You want me to make a radical suggestion here for you? Ditch the nuts completely until you lose the weight or until you really get a grasp on this raw food lifestyle. Or the only exception to that is maybe using nuts in a recipe and using a certain amount and a small amount of nuts, because when you just start eating them, that stuff can get away from you. Now, I don't have the taste for them like I used to, but I do remember that. You eat one, you eat two, you eat three, and it's easy just to keep on eating them. So, hey, maybe you might want to disagree with this. You might just say no, but I'm just saying if it's not working for you, if you're not dropping the weight, if your skin's not clearing up, if your digestion's not getting better, if you're just not really taking to this raw food diet and thriving on it, look at your fat. How much fat are you really taking in? And the nuts, and be honest with yourself. And that's where that food journal comes in handy, in writing down every bite you eat. Then go to Google. Google may not be the most accurate. You can do Chronometer if you want to go ahead. I don't know how to set that up. I've never done it, but you can generally if you just write everything down, you can go to Google and get a pretty good idea. So you can Google how many calories in this particular food, how much fat in this particular food. Now, I'm not talking about fat here, but I was getting a little bit soft in the middle last year living on the mountain when I was drinking all that sugar cane and orange juice. Well, I go to Google one day and I see how many calories sugarcane juice has in it, and I'm like, no wonder. So, ease off on the fat. Ease off on the fat. I mean, I'm not against fat. I had some tahini last night. I had avocado Friday night or something like that. But in moderation. But if you're new to this lifestyle, that fat can get away from you, and that fat's going to hold you back. But like I say, don't let me go too far in that direction. You got the cray-crays out there that are they're just scared to death of fat. So don't get to that point. You do need healthy fat. Our hair needs fat. Our brain needs fat. Our skin needs fat. So I do get my fat in there. I'm not extreme on that, but that fat's going to hold you back. Let me see. Oh, the next one. I don't know why I have to, I'm just kind of paranoid. I forget things so easily. I'm always consulting my notes. The processed food. The processed food, some people will write me and they'll be like, okay, well, and I guess they're kind of looking for me to kind of give them a, why is this happening or whatever. And I'm mixing this and I ate this last night. Oh, and they'll send me like a description of their meal that they've made, and they'll tell me this stuff, and I get lost. It's almost like reading a book, and it's so long, and you just start drifting off, and I'm like, God, what are all those things you put in there? This processed food, it just has a, pardon my language, shitstorm of chemicals and all kind of things in there. We don't even know what it is, even if it's vegan. Look at those packages. Look at those packages. I don't like anything. It's funny. Now I think back, it always used to be funny. I'd look at ingredients on the side of a package or something and just kind of be amused at, oh, look at all these ingredients I can't even pronounce. Now it appalls me. I don't want to put things into me that I can't pronounce. I don't even know what they are. Once again, I don't want to be like ridiculous extreme. We all eat processed food to a certain extent. And I'm not a purist or whatever, but at least, when I'm talking about processed food, we're trying to talk about where you look at the ingredients, there's 3 or 4 ingredients. We're not talking about 13, 14, 20, whatever. The natural food, people, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. And that's why I do how I do on this lifestyle. I could not do how most people are doing this diet, this lifestyle, whatever. I'd be going out of my mind because I can't be thinking about food all the time, and that leads into my third mistake. People are just trying to complicate this too much. And that's where I've just kind of come to a peace that I can't translate the way I do things to too many people, because I keep it simple, not to be extreme or not to restrict myself or not to be like a super purist. I just eat simple because that works for me. It works for my brain. I don't have to think about my food. And I don't know, that's to be quite honest, I guess, to be fair, I've eaten like that. I've always kind of had that mindset a certain bit in my life. Even when I ate a standard American diet, I didn't like to think about food all that much. I even remember thinking back then, this is something we eat every day. We eat, roughly, we don't necessarily all eat 3 meals a day, but roughly we eat 3 meals a day for the course of our life. So, I can't be getting excited about some meals are just fuel. Some meals are utilitarian. Not every meal needs to be some gourmet explosion in your mouth that's just, oh my God, that's great. Sometimes you're going to eat stuff that just fills you up, gives you good fuel for your body, and keeps you going. But simple, just keep it simple in all versions. I mean, people come to, that aren't even really doing this lifestyle, ask me something so complicated, and all I want to say is just erase that question. You don't even need to be thinking about that. Eat fruit. Make fruit the base of your diet. Eat salads. Eat vegetables. However high raw you want to go. If you're going to eat cooked. But it's not rocket science. When you start trying to worry about, okay, I have to get everything. Did I get enough of this? Did I get enough of that? Did I get this one? Did I get that one? I always refer people back to my philosophy, which kind of reflects the book Whole by T. Colin Campbell, that we can't be thinking every day like, okay, vitamin A, like a checklist of every nutrient, every macro. Okay, I didn't have anything with vitamin A today. Oh, I didn't get any selenium. I better go eat that Brazil nut. if we eat an adequate amount of calories for our body, and I'm going to finish with this. This is as simple as this diet gets. If we will eat an adequate amount of calories, fuel, energy for our body, if we get appropriate activity, if we make it a base of fruit, make it a base of leafy vegetables, get a healthy amount of fat. What else? What else? Oh, let's make sure, even with the healthy fat, let's make sure we're, balancing our omega-3s and our omega-6s. So let's make sure we're getting some chia seeds, some flax seeds, some hemp seeds in there, other foods with the omega-3s. Let's get a wide variety. If we eat an adequate amount of calories and we get a wide variety from the color spectrum, from different types of foods, and we do this day after day, we're eating different things. So yes, some days we're going to probably fall a little bit short on things. Some days we're going to get more than we need on things. But go back to the basics. Has the complicated lifestyle worked for you? Has a complicated version of the raw food diet? Have all the coaching sessions, have all the books you read, have all the threads you've been on, have they actually gotten you there? Or did they confuse you? And lead you to overthinking and lead you to be like, well, wait a minute, I heard in that group that you're not supposed to, can you really combine this with this? And oh, but I heard you're supposed to use this kind of a spoon. And I'm like, Poindexter, breathe, take a step back, pick up a piece of fruit and eat it. You just did it. You're a vegan. You're a raw foodist. Simple as that. Don't complicate things. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. I'll drop a link down below for I think this is becoming my favorite shirt, the Vegan for Everything, in the description. And I will see you guys again tomorrow. Love you. Peace.